What makes your neighborhood Liberty Tax the best choice? With thousands of 5-star reviews, our trained experts help you file quickly.
Her say her courage and joy will live on.
Tyshawn Dawson brings us the story of Kylie Mills told through the eyes of her longtime tennis coach and through the words of her parents shared during her fight.
To understand who Kylie Mills was, you have to start with the way she lived. Full of heart, full of determination, and full of love.
She was just good. She was good for people. She was good for everybody. You know, you can talk to anybody that knew her, and that's a very simple answer for any of them.
Her tennis coach, Johnny Simmons, met Kylie when she was just a little girl. Over the years, Simmons saw her grow and watched how she handled adversity on the court.
Her challenges on the court were like all of them. When you're learning, boy, it's tough, you know, and she just put her time in, and she listened. She tried hard to get done what you wanted her to do. So she'd come a long way in a short time because she just wanted to, which is half the job.
But Kylie's story isn't just about tennis. It's about faith, family, and strength that showed up long before the toughest days arrived.
I remember being in the delivery room that night, and I remember telling Ashley, I think that's one of the closest experiences I've ever felt to God up until that point, was that, you know, here was this beautiful creation that Ashley and I were part of, and that God had loaned and entrusted me and Ashley to raise.
Kylie grew up chasing tennis balls and big dreams, winning tournaments, pushing herself, and never backing down from a challenge, until one day the fight moved off the court.
No parents ready to hear that your child has cancer, especially brain cancer.
In 2024, Kylie was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and though things continued to get worse, the same fight she showed on the court, she now showed in treatment. And through it all, she never lost who she was. Coach Simmons says her strength taught him far more than he ever taught her.
The perseverance of that girl was unbelievable. What she had to fight through, we can't even fathom, but she did it. And she was ready to go all the time, and when she could still do her therapy, she was all in, all the way, you know, and just did it hard, and she just had a great drive about her. She was going to get well, and, you know, God didn't say so, but it was a great trip for her, and she showed the world a lot.
Unfortunately, Kylie passed away on January 14th, and now, as the community mourns, her family's words echo even louder reminders of who Kylie was at her core.
She is beautiful. She's incredibly smart. She was athletic. She's strong. I mean, this girl could persevere through anything, and I feel like God looked down on her and said, I want her on my team. We're going to go into battle, and I want her on my team. And he was just picking one of the best, and he picked her.
Though her battle here on earth is over, now she is on God's team, where she'll forever be a winner. Tyshawn Dawson, KFDX 3 News.
And just like Tyshawn shared, she's definitely left her impact, and we here at KFDX want to send our sincere condolences to her friends and family.
Yeah, she meant a lot to this town
Absolutely.
Too. Everyone came out in support of her whenever she needed it.
That's right, and I know they were also appreciative of that. All right, let's go ahead now and switch gears and check in with Chief Meteorologist Michael Bowling for a look outside. And Michael, we need to prepare for yet another windy day.
Yeah, we have pretty strong cold fronts moving through as we go into tomorrow morning. Clear skies across the area right now. We do have that strong front that'll move through and change some things up here for tomorrow. Current temperature outside is 58 degrees in Wichita Falls, 62 for Amarillo, 65 out towards Midland, 61 down towards Austin, and 50 in Houston. We are still warmer than Houston, which is rare for this time of year. We are 7 degrees warmer than we were as well 24 hours ago. Much of this afternoon was about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday, and that's going to change though as we go into tomorrow. That front's going to hit, and you are going to notice it as it hits. Very windy to start out the day for tomorrow, and then potentially the coldest temperature so far this season as we go into the weekend. We'll talk all about that coming up here in a few minutes, Aaron.
All right, sounds good, Michael. Thanks so much. We'll see you in a little bit. The Clay County Election Commission, the group responsible for overseeing local elections, is facing scrutiny following a series of allegations involving its leadership and internal operations. Former Clay County Election Administrator Val McLean has been terminated after multiple allegations of bias towards certain local candidates during election periods. According to Clay County Judge Mike Campbell, the Election Commission voted to terminate McLean after the Commissioner's Court warned it would abolish the Election Commission office if no action was taken.
We've gotten to a point where there was concern about whether or not Ms. McLean could hold a fair election. We worked very hard to try and resolve those issues. Ultimately, it all comes down to what is best for Clay County and what is best for the people's trust in the election process.
The next Clay County Election Commission meeting is scheduled for January 23rd, where commissioners are expected to discuss who will step in as the next election administrator. Now stay with us on KFDX 3 News at 10, where Ashley Waters will break down the full meeting and what comes next for the commission.
A handful of jury trials are on the horizon, both in Wichita County and beyond. But that's not all that's happening in district courts in the area.
Josh Ogden's been keeping track of criminal cases in Wichita County and beyond. He's joining us now with the latest on all these cases. Josh?
Yeah, guys, I've got several rapid-fire updates in new and pending appeal cases out of Texoma. But first, we're headed to the Wichita County Courthouse, where yesterday in the 30th District Court, a man pleaded guilty to his role in a fatal crash back in 2023 that claimed the life of a beloved Texoma baseball coach, avoiding prison, but still set to spend some time in county jail. Court records show that 19-year-old Chance Mills pleaded guilty to manslaughter on Wednesday, with 30th District Court Judge Jeff McKnight deferring his sentence, placing him on probation for the next 10 years. Now, as a part of his sentence, Mills is required to serve 180 days in the Wichita County Jail, with Judge McKnight granting him work release, allowing him to be released from jail on weekdays in order to maintain his job and requiring him to report back to the Wichita County Jail at the end of the day. Along with that, Judge McKnight required Mills to complete 480 hours of community service and a cognitive correction training class. Now, the charge against Mills stems from April 20th, 2023, when he was 17 years old. DPS officials said they responded to a crash on Highway 79 near Russell's Fireworks just after 6 p.m., where they discovered a pickup truck driven by Mills had collided head-on with an SUV while he was attempting to pass a vehicle in front of him. Mills was transported to United Regional with serious injuries, while the driver of the SUV, 53-year-old Pat Maxwell, was pronounced dead at the scene. Maxwell coached high school baseball in Texoma for nearly 2 decades, serving as Petrolia's head baseball coach since 2019. Before that, he spent a decade in Archer City, where he led the Wildcats to a state championship in 2027. Now, finally, a quick update on several appellate cases out of Texoma that we're keeping track of. Of course, we're still waiting for updates in 2 major appeal cases. That's after the Court of Criminal Appeals granted a petition for review in the case of James Irvin Staley III. Now, we're expecting a brief to be filed soon by Wichita County District Attorney's Office explaining why Staley's conviction for capital murder should be reinstated. That's due next Monday. We're also awaiting the state's reply to a petition for review filed by Anthony Patterson, whose convictions for human trafficking and child sex crimes were upheld on appeal, with Patterson questioning how the Second Court of Appeals was able to return a decision just 16 days after the case was submitted. Speaking of cases being submitted, the appellate case of Joshua Fulbright has officially been submitted to the Second Court of Appeals. Last year, he was convicted for capital murder and automatically sentenced to life without parole for the 2018 death of 2-year-old Scarlett Olivia Newsom. Now, we await the appellate court's decision. And a case that won't be submitted at all is Michael Tackett's petition for discretionary review. Tackett was convicted on 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault of a child, sentenced to 2 consecutive terms of life in prison. That was upheld on appeal, but Tackett never filed his PDR that he requested. Now, that case has expired. Finally, a new notice of appeal has been filed by Cindy Baker, the most recent jury trial from our area. Now, last month, she was found guilty of murder for the fatal stabbing of her husband in Clay County in 2019, sentenced to 23 years in prison. With her notice filed, it has officially opened her appellate case with the Second Court of Appeals in Fort Worth. Now, those are just a few of the cases that we're following right now. We're also looking ahead to a few jury trials, both in Wichita County and beyond that, they're on the horizon. So if you want to stay up to date with the latest developments in these and many other civil and criminal cases, make sure that you're following us on air and online at TexomasHomepage.com.
All right, not slowing down at all in Wichita County or other counties in Texoma. All right, Josh, thank you so much for those updates tonight.
All right, now if you're planning a wedding, we have a one-stop shop event this weekend to help relieve a little bit of stress ahead of your big day.
That's right. Our annual bridal market is this Saturday from 9 to 4 at the Delta Hotel. That's where you can find bridal gowns and tuxedos, venue information, DJs, photographers, florists, and more. And don't miss the fashion show in the afternoon either, where we'll be showing off those dresses, suits, and tuxedos. And it's all going to be emceed by yours truly. Admission to get in is only $5. The University Kiwanis Club of Wichita Falls is celebrating a major milestone this year with its 70th annual Pancake Festival. In a show of support, United Supermarkets and Market Street presented a check this morning for $1,000 to the Kiwanis Club. Club President Woody Gossam says this donation not only helps support the Kiwanis Club of Wichita Falls, it also helps the kids in the area. While Alan Smith, Regional Vice President of the United family, says it's an honor to help such a valuable part of Texoma.
I think it's great anytime that we can get back to the community. That's what United Supermarket's always been about. That's what we're always going to be about, is giving back to the community.
It's just a great relationship, and now they just capped this off with this donation of $1,000 to University of Kiwanis to help with our youth programs, because Kiwanis is for kids. That's what we're about.
The feed will be on Saturday, January 31st at the J.S. Bridwell Ag Center on North Burnett Street. Doors open at 6 that morning and wrap up at 6 that evening. Tickets are still available at United, and you can also buy them online. We've provided a link inside this story over on our website, TexomasHomepage.com.
And it was one of the best kept secrets in town or amongst the folks in the Wichita Falls Rotary Club. But now the cat is out of the bag, and the surprise was unleashed on none other than longtime Wichitan Norris Martin. This afternoon during the Rotary Club's meeting, Martin was crowned the Rotary Club Boys and Girls Club of Wichita Falls 2026 Outstanding Citizen of the Year, recognized for his exceptional volunteerism and commitment to the community. Members of the club were told not to talk about his winning the award because apparently not much happens in this town without him knowing about it. When asked if he was surprised, he had this to say.
I knew nothing about it, and this is an honor that is bestowed on yearly to a citizen of Wichita Falls by the Rotary Club. I'm very proud to be a Rotarian. Rotary clubs do a lot of good, and I'm very, very proud of this award. It's really an honor.
The award recognizes individuals for significant community service and highlights individuals who embody the Rotary's ideals through selfless service and positive impact on the Wichita Falls community.
Big congratulations to him. All right, switching gears now, it is time for our question of the day, and it is dedicated to headwear.
Headwear, you say? All right, today is National Hat Day, so we want to know which style of hat you prefer. Baseball caps, trucker hats, cowboy hats, or a classic beanie.
All right, good options there. To let us know which one you prefer, all you have to do is scan the QR code right there on your screen. Or you can head on over to our Facebook page and click the link on this post. We'll have those responses for you at the end of the newscast.
Officials around the world are launching investigations into an American AI chatbot.
Coming up, how Elon Musk is responding to allegations against his artificial intelligence software, Grok.
And a little later in the newscast, find out how many Texas students will be allowed to participate in the Texas Education Voucher Program for the first year.
The White House takes aim at health care costs. I'm Blake Berman, host of The Hill on News Nation. President Trump calling on Congress to enact what he calls the Great Health Care Plan. The new framework aims to lower drug prices and insurance premiums and increase price transparency. The plan includes putting money directly into the hands of Americans so they can shop for health insurance. It also calls for Congress to permanently install what's known as most favored nation prices for the cost of prescription drugs, trying to lower them to costs seen elsewhere around the world. The White House says insurance companies were not part of crafting the plan, which would also have to pass through a bitterly divided Congress. It comes as the White House tries to tackle the issue of affordability, and as Congress debates extending the Obamacare tax credits which Democrats are pushing for. I'm Blake Berman, and this is the News Nation Political Minute.
It's the ultimate hockey experience. The Allen Americans are back. Join us at the Credit Union of Texas Event Center for heart-pounding action, unforgettable moments, and a community that bleeds red, white, and blue. Bring your family and friends and enjoy amazing food, fun activities, and the thrill of live hockey. Feel the rush as the Allen Americans battle it out on the ice. Get tickets today at AllenAmericans.com and join the adventure. Allen Americans Hockey, where every game is a win.
At Hickory Recovery Network, we are dedicated to being a national leader in the treatment of substance use and co-occurring mental health disorders. Our mission is to provide compassionate, structured, and evidence-based care through our expanding network. Now in Texas, Hickory Treatment Center at Longview offers a comprehensive residential treatment program designed to help individuals build a foundation for lasting recovery. If you or a loved one needs help, call Hickory's 24/7 admissions team or visit hickorytreatmentcenters.com today.
Only Purple has the Gel Flex Grid, designed to help you wake with less pain, because the right bed doesn't just improve your night, it improves your day. Purple. Less pain, better sleep.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping. Got a few minutes? You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. And how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
From KFDX 3, Texoma's Weather Authority, with Chief Meteorologist Michael Bowling.
So the wind that we're expecting tomorrow, is it going to be maybe as intense as the wind we experienced yesterday or the day before?
You know, it's not going to last as long, but during the time period that it picks up, it's probably going to be stronger than what we saw. Yeah. So tomorrow morning, it's going to be really windy here. Taking a look outside on a nice sunset on the Bowie Tower Cam. Current temperature is 58 degrees. We have a south-southeast wind averaging 11 miles per hour. Today's high was 69 degrees, so we went down as 14 degrees above our average of 55, and the low this morning was 26 degrees, which was 4 degrees below our average of 30. Looking at the winds here that we were just talking about going into tonight, they're going to stay fairly calm for most of tonight. And in the forecast models you get into tomorrow morning, I think this model is a little bit fast with the front. I think it's probably going to hit closer to around daybreak tomorrow. But regardless, as you're getting ready for the day, getting your kids ready for school, you're about to go to work, it's going to be really windy outside. You see some of those wind gusts up over 45 miles per hour even. I think some of these wind gusts could get as high as 50 tomorrow as this front hits. It moves through really quickly, so by 6 o'clock there, which I think is really probably going to be closer to 7 or 8, that's when all of Texoma is seeing those really strong wind gusts up around 40 miles per hour. And like I said, I think some of these wind gusts could be as high as 50. But the winds will start to weaken already by late morning. It's going to start weakening up some. And in the afternoon hours, it's going to stay windy tomorrow, but not quite as windy as it was a couple days ago throughout the entire day. But when that front does hit, that's going to be windier than it was the other day, if that makes enough sense to you. It's just going to be a brief, really big blast of wind there. And as we go into Saturday, it's going to stay windy again here. Some of those wind gusts up around 30 to 35 miles per hour. But the strongest winds will be right there at daybreak tomorrow morning. The lowest for tomorrow morning is low 40s to high 30s across Texoma. And with those strong winds, expect the wind chills down into the 20s. It's going to be a really cold start to the day as well. And then tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be about 10 to 12 degrees cooler here as we go into the afternoon. Mid-50s to high 50s across the area. Overall, pretty close to average for this time of year. On Saturday, we get a little bit colder here. We're back down to a high of 46, then we're up to 57 on Sunday. High 40s to low 50s to start out the week. A brief warm up to 62 here as we go towards next Thursday, and then we're in the 50s as we go towards next weekend. We're in one of these patterns where we continue to see one of these fronts come through every couple of days. Eventually, we might get a real cold Arctic blast, but with that being said, we could see the coldest temperature that we've seen so far this year this weekend. Sunday, I had the low at 20 degrees that morning. That would tie the coldest temperature that we set in December for this season. It's been overall pretty mild when you consider that we've only gone down to 20 as our lowest temperature. Satellite radar across the area is pretty clear here at the moment. It's going to stay clear even with the front hitting overnight tonight into tomorrow. There might be an occasional cloud in the sky, but it's going to be mostly blue out there. On Saturday, that changes. More cloud cover rolls into the area. You see some little patches of precipitation popping up there in Futurecast 2. There's a chance, and I wouldn't be shocked if there were a couple reports of maybe a very light snow flurry in the area. Not going to be a big deal. Not going to cause any issues. Probably not going to happen in your neighborhood. But then as we go into Sunday, we're going to clear the skies right back out. So for tonight, 38 degrees. We're going to have that front come through well after midnight tonight. Some winds will shift to the north behind the front, getting up to 30 miles per hour, likely gusting higher than that, especially around daybreak tomorrow with that high of 57 degrees. And it will stay breezy into the afternoon. Here's the 7-day forecast. We're at a high of 46 there on Saturday, 57 on Sunday. Then it's going to be a little bit cooler continuously as we go into the start of next week.
At Hickory Treatment Center in Longview, we provide compassionate, evidence-based care for substance use and co-occurring mental health disorders. We offer residential treatment to help individuals build a foundation for lasting recovery. Need help? Call Hickory's 24/7 admissions team today.
Introducing Purple, the only mattress with the GelFlex grid, designed to relieve pressure and reduce pain, so you can end and start your day feeling refreshed. From quiet mornings to meaningful moments together, because the right bed doesn't just improve your night, it improves your day. Purple, less pain, better sleep.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need, and it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's pre-dive. Watching KFDX 3 News.
Following a massive controversy involving sexually explicit deepfake photos, multiple countries are now banning X's AI tool Grok.
As Evan Brown tells us, if similar moves are enacted here in the U.S., it could set a powerful precedent.
The images being produced are despicable and abhorrent.
Officials around the world are launching investigations and proposing bans after X's AI chatbot Grok started generating sexually explicit pictures of celebrities and even children at an unprecedented scale simply by altering existing photos at users' requests.
Grok 3 is outperforming anything that's been released that we're aware of. In fact, at times I think Grok 3 It's kind of scary smart.
Last week, X restricted Grok's image generation, but the damage may already be done. Indonesia and Malaysia already banned Grok, and the UK may do the same. And some are urging American authorities to put guardrails in place before it is too late.
They can investigate the service, they can issue enforcement action, and if that enforcement action is not complied with, they can fine the platform.
Enforcement at the state or local level could have big repercussions by setting a national precedent when it comes to AI and privacy, but some say that is not enough.
I would like to see a federal law passed that holds these social media platforms accountable.
And yet others claim the threat is overblown and easy to correct, suggesting the controversy is simply caused by growing pains as the technology continues to evolve.
AI is making humans' jobs more efficient and more effective, but humans will always be involved.
The Pentagon, however, is embracing Grok, including it as the second AI to work within the military's secure computers.
All right, well, it's time to get into sports. Toby McDuff joining us now, and we got a team of the week to talk about.
Yes, we do. We're going to head over to City View High School. Am I supposed to give it away like that? I don't know.
Well, you already did.
I did. We're heading to City View.
Too late.
Lady Mustangs are our team of the week. We'll tell you why coming up next in sports.
At Hickory Treatment Center in Longview, we provide compassionate, evidence-based care for substance use and co-occurring mental health disorders. We offer residential treatment to help individuals build a foundation for lasting recovery. Need help? Call Hickory's 24/7 admissions team today.
It's the ultimate hockey experience. The Allen Americans are back. Join us at the Credit Union of Texas Event Center for heart-pounding action, unforgettable moments, and a community that bleeds red, white, and blue. Bring your family and friends and enjoy amazing food, fun activities, and the thrill of live hockey. Feel the rush as the Allen Americans battle it out on the ice. Get tickets today at AllenAmericans.com and join the adventure. Allen Americans Hockey, where every game is a win.
Only Purple has the Gel Flex Grid, designed to help you wake with less pain, because the right bed doesn't just improve your night, it improves your day. Purple. Less pain, better sleep.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Even the mighty might not see it.
Why do they have to play that every freaking break? My God. I mean, it ain't like that disease is in the air like cancer or something. Jesus. That's the second freaking break they've played there. Jeez. Get a clue, people. Crapola. Bombard you with it, hit you over the head with it every freaking break. Damn.
With Tobin McDuff from the OSTC Sports Test, your complete orthopedic team. Team of the Week on KFDX is brought to you by State Farm agent Bryson Whitaker.
On Tuesday night, the City View girls basketball team beat the state-ranked Jacksboro Tigerettes, moving to 6-0 in District 7-3A and stretching their win streak to 10 games. After the win, Parker Holland owner caught up with the Mustangs to learn more about what's quickly becoming one of Texoma's most dangerous teams.
With their most recent win in the books, the City View Lady Mustangs are in complete control, taking down Jacksboro 45-29 and taking sole possession of first place in their district. At 6-0 in 7-3A on the year, not only do they control their destiny for the rest of the season, but they've also extended their nearly 2-year-long district win streak to 18 games.
It's scary, but it's also fun. It's scary because everybody is gunning for you. Nobody wants you to win. Everybody's going to say, they're going to pull all their stops out every game. They're going to come at us every game. And then it's fun on the same time because I get to see the talent that my kids have.
The win over the Tigerettes was a solid microcosm for the 2026 Lady Mustangs brand of basketball.
I feel like we are a first half team, and I think we're just more lively and awake. And I feel like when we get stills, it really wakes us up, and it's a domino effect for everyone.
While the team certainly wants to play a more complete game, the results have been inarguable. tiring opponents out, dominating early and often. Head coach Kratora Buckner has preached the speed and physicality that make the Mustangs who they are, while also crediting it to her team's innate play style.
That's one of their talents, quickness and physical. I mean, they don't mind banging with somebody. They don't mind getting out there and doing what they have to do.
Nia Jefferson has stepped into a leading role as a junior, taking over as the team's leading scorer from Kylan Marks, who is down for the season with injury.
I put her in a position where she's going to have to do other things other than what she did last year. And she's in that position, and she's honed that position. Now she's gotten to the point where she's comfortable. She'll take one dribble, and she sees somebody up the court, and she'll get it up the court. I mean, that's just that guard mentality when she's really a forward.
Queenie Thomas, the sophomore guard, has broken out this year, showing off blazing speed and aggression. Jaden Easton holds down the post for the Mustangs, standing 6 feet tall and anchoring their defensive game. And Amaya Hawkins leads the team in energy, with a team-first mindset that has earned her a unique nickname.
She don't know this, but I call her my garbage man. I call her the garbage man because the garbage man does every little thing. She can rebound. She can score when she wants to. She can dribble the ball. She can pass the ball. She does those little things. Like if she needs to go get a steal, she can go get that steal. That's what I call a garbage man.
Together, the Lady Mustangs have outscored their opponents by 23 points per game during their 10-game winning streak, and they now stand just 6 games from a third straight district title.
Is there anything that you've noticed that this team you still want to get better at?
I would definitely say second half. I just feel like we lose all our defensive mentality, and that translates to our offense.
I need them to rely on each other because, even in adversity, who's going to be there for you? Your teammates. And when they get out of high school, who's going to be there for you? Your teammates. So I need them to learn more to rely on each other and then just play basketball.
With your team of the week, the City View Lady Mustangs, I'm Parker Hollandoner.
The last district game that City View lost was back in February of 2024, and they lost to Holiday. These two teams meet again next Tuesday night, 6 o'clock at City View. That will do it for our look at sports. We'll see you back here after the break.
At Hickory Recovery Network, we are dedicated to being a national leader in the treatment of substance use and co-occurring mental health disorders. Our mission is to provide compassionate, structured, and evidence-based care through our expanding network. Now in Texas, Hickory Treatment Center at Longview offers a comprehensive residential treatment program designed to help individuals build a foundation for lasting recovery. If you or a loved one needs help, call Hickory's 24/7 admissions team or visit hickorytreatmentcenters.com today.
Hey, that's my burrito. Hey.
You're not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
It's my burrito.
Purple, less pain, better sleep.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
Here's a question for you. News Nation Monday. Were you watching News Nation last night? If not, you should have. Why?
A fresh, fast-paced, and often unexpected take on the day's headlines.
This is amazing.
Jesse Weber Live premieres Monday at 11 p.m. Eastern, only on News Nation.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
There's a new star at News Nation. Her name is Katie Pavlich.
Smart insight.
Not every situation is the same, so we can put our critical thinking hats on.
Ready to get started.
Let's talk about it.
Katie Pavlich Tonight premieres January 19th at 10/9 Central on News Nation. Monday. You're watching KFDX 3 News.
Starting early next month, parents can submit applications for the Texas Education Freedom Accounts Program, also known as TIFA.
The school voucher program passed by the Texas legislature last year will allow students to use public funds for private school tuition or costs for other schooling programs.
Nabil Ramadna shows us what parents need to know.
Some against school vouchers or ESAs.
They do not support vouchers. They want us to invest in their neighborhood schools.
And others showing support.
It ensures every child, regardless of background, has access to a quality education.
In the end, the legislature approved what is now known as the Texas Education Freedom Accounts Program, or TIFA, and it will open for enrollment February 4th.
It's going to allow families to select the schools, tutors, special education service providers, and other education solutions that meet the unique needs of their child.
Travis Pillow is the spokesperson for TIFA. He says more than 1,000 Texas schools have signed up to participate so far.
We have 89 schools currently signed on to participate in the Austin area alone.
The Texas legislature appropriated $1 billion for the program in the first 2 years, and it will allow each qualifying student to receive more than $10,000.
Those with a qualifying disability may receive up to $30,000. And then the families who are homeschoolers will receive $2,000.
I think it just leads to better outcomes for learning for children.
State Senator Paul Betancourt spoke to us by phone. He has high hopes for the program.
If there is high demand, which I believe is going to be, and there's good results, then yes, I think there will be a move to expand the program.
Applications will be open through March 17th. In April, families will be notified if they've been accepted into the program.
Senator Betancourt says roughly 100,000 students will be able to participate in its first year.
And here at home, the schools available on the state's list are Children Come First on Taft, Wichita Christian School on Midwestern Parkway, and Learning Essentials Daycare on Holiday Road.
Information about millions of Texas voters is now in the hands of the federal government. The Texas Secretary of State's office gave it to them so the DOJ can compare it to its databases, saying they want to check for ineligible voters. In a memorandum they sent to other states with the same request, the DOJ says they expect states to fix any errors they identify in voter rolls within 45 days. Democratic State Representative John Busey is concerned about what this could mean for upcoming elections.
By doing all this, they're going to scare people from the process. And they know when less people participate, the conservatives do better.
We reached out to Governor Greg Abbott's team for a response. They directed us to a social media post he made on Monday, confirming the DOJ and Texas partnership, saying, quote, "We want our voter rolls to be checked for potential ineligible registrations. Only U.S. citizens can vote in Texas."
A new poll from Nexstar and Emerson College shows a significant shakeup in the Democratic Party. In a poll of more than 400 likely Democratic primary voters with a margin of error of plus or minus 4.8%, State Representative James Tallarico holds a 9-point lead over U.S. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. This time last month, Crockett appeared to be the clear frontrunner, with a different polling group showing her 8 points ahead of Tallarico. Despite the positive news for his campaign, Tallarico downplayed the numbers during a press event in Austin on Thursday morning.
I said on the first day of this campaign, I've said it every day since, that we are the underdog in this race, both in the primary and in the general.
In a statement, Crockett said, quote, "Though I have doubts about the overall validity of this data and it fails to paint the full picture, there's only one Democrat the polls show beating a Republican, and that's me. This has been consistent with other polls, including my own internal poll, which is why I'm even in this race. This poll yet again demonstrates my electability," end quote.
The city of Wichita Falls and Wichita County are now taking another step toward tackling homelessness. Yesterday, in the City County Homeless Initiative Advisory Committee meeting, they discussed launching a new public awareness campaign. City Councilor at Large Austin Cobb says the campaign is aimed at educating the community on homelessness, as well as available resources and how to help those in need. They also talked about including more public service announcements, billboards, and sharing stories from people experiencing homelessness. Committee member Steve Sparks stressed the importance of connecting them with resources rather than simply giving them money directly. And Sparks also talked about expanding medical care for the homeless community.
There's a huge medical gap for the people who are living on the streets, and one of the things that we want to try to do is to introduce street medicine to some of the people who are out on the streets, or maybe a respite unit where people who are discharged from the hospital without any place to go.
City leaders say homelessness is not a problem one organization can solve alone, and they hope this committee will create long-term solutions through collaboration and education. The next meeting is scheduled for March 18th.
2 people are facing charges with Texas game wardens, as well as several outstanding warrants following a traffic stop yesterday. 46-year-old Matthew Shear is charged with unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, 4 counts of hunting or possessing exotic animals in Wichita County, 3 counts of hunting or possessing exotic animals in Clay County, taking wildlife resources without consent in Clay County, hunting exotic animals without landowner consent in Wichita and Clay counties, and hunting non-game from a vehicle in Clay County. 50-year-old Christy Altenhoff is charged with hunting or possessing exotic animals out of Clay County. The Clay County Sheriff's Office made the stop on State Highway 79 and Glasgow Road, uncovering 2 poached deer in a vehicle, prompting further inquiries into the circumstances surrounding their unlawful possession. Texas game wardens have since taken charge of the investigation concerning the poached deer. Shear remains jailed in Clay County, while Altenhoff has since been released.
All right, let's go ahead now and check back in with Michael over in the Weather Center. So, Michael, what can people expect in the later hours of the night?
It's going to be pretty quiet for most of tonight until we get to the hours around daybreak for tomorrow. Clear skies across the area right now, and temperatures aren't too bad. 58 degrees right now in Wichita Falls, 56 for Dallas-Fort Worth, 50 up in Oklahoma City, 61 in Austin, and 62 in the Panhandle for Amarillo. We are a little bit warmer than we were this time yesterday. A 7-degree warm-up right now in Wichita Falls. And as we go into tomorrow, it's going to be a different story, though. A little bit cooler as that front hits early in the day. It's going to be very windy to start out today or tomorrow as well. And then likely some of the coldest temperatures we've seen all season this weekend. We'll talk about that coming up here in a few minutes, guys.
All right. Sounds good, Michael. Thank you so much. Well, January is Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, and according to the CDC, about 13,000 women are diagnosed with cervical cancer every year here in the U.S.
But experts say with early screenings, that number could go down.
What's interesting about cervical cancer, unlike many cancers, cervical cancer has a very long precancerous phase, which is why screening is very helpful.
Doctors say screening for cervical cancer typically includes getting a pap smear, which can be uncomfortable for some women. But there may soon be another option available.
The FDA recently approved an at-home test kit that looks for the presence of HPV or human papillomavirus.
Oncologists say nearly all cervical cancer cases are driven by HPV. So if the results of the test came back negative, then the woman would not need to get a pap smear.
This test is going to be approved only for women at no elevated risk. So, for instance, if I've had a problem with my pap smear in the past, no good. If I am immunosuppressed because I had a kidney transplant, no good. Or HIV. So there's going to be some people that really this test is not really designed for, and they should be seeing a gynecologist regularly.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services also updated its cervical cancer screening guidelines to include the use of the at-home test kit.
Well, prices are going up for another streaming service.
Coming up, Marianne Vela tells us when Spotify users can expect to see the increase.
And as we head into break on this National Hat Day, we want to know which style of hat you prefer. Do you like baseball caps, trucker hats, cowboy hats, or beanies?
To vote for your favorite, just scan the QR code right there on your screen or head over to our Facebook page and click the link on this post. We'll have the results for you at the end of the newscast.
At Hickory Treatment Center in Longview, we provide compassionate, evidence-based care for substance use and co-occurring mental health disorders. We offer residential treatment to help individuals build a foundation for lasting recovery. Need help? Call Hickory's 24/7 admissions team today.
It's the ultimate hockey experience. The Allen Americans are back. Join us at the Credit Union of Texas Event Center for heart-pounding action, unforgettable moments, and a community that bleeds red, white, and blue. Bring your family and friends and enjoy amazing food, fun activities, and the thrill of live hockey. Feel the rush as the Allen Americans battle it out on the ice. Get tickets today at AllenAmericans.com and join the adventure. Allen Americans Hockey, where every game is a win.